And on to race number 8, and we've got this race over the 1800 metres. It's an extended rating class 2, 105 to 75. Running Glory carries the same weight as his 2,000 metre win last time. Savvy 9 has his first start since the Longines Hong Kong Cup behind Romantic Warrior. The Irishman was a Class 1 winner last time at Happy Valley, so he's down in grade, but actually up in weight. Turin Red Sun, Shadow roll off, Blinkers go back on, Butterfield's back in trip. Looking Great's last two have been in Group 3 company. Spirit Express, he was a winner at his only time at 1800 metres. Viva Chaleur, first look at the trip. Champion Dragon makes his Class 2 debut, and also Dom likes to roll forward in his races. He is drawn out in barrier number 9, Champion Dragon, from this beautiful start at the 1800.
Well, he should be able to lead up here for whatever reason they handed up on him last time out, Champion Dragon. He's got no turn of foot. He's very one pace, and I thought he could maybe dictate off the front here and be tough to run down. Butterfield, he had every chance last time out, and saying that he got a little keen at the 1200 metres and then had to press forward when the pace came right out of that race last start. Looking Great, Turin Red Sun, Running Glory, the next runners, Paul.
Yeah, exactly. And look, as you mentioned, Champion Dragon, I think they'll lead. There's a change of jockey as well. Matthew Chadwick will jump aboard. Spirit Express, Celestial Power's drawn wide. I think he'll get back. And the Irishman generally runs better when he goes back as well. We've seen that.
We are going to have an interview first of all, though. It's the little horse, Running Glory, that is the focus, and his rider is Hugh Bowman.
Hugh, Running Glory, was very good last time out when winning. You're on him for the first time. You'll ride him again on Sunday. He's got a heart as big as himself, this fellow, hasn't he?
He does, Nick, and yeah, pleased to be reuniting with him. He does go up to carry top weight this time, and as you point out, he's not a big horse, but what he lacks in size, he certainly makes up with courage, and he's a very consistent horse. He's got an outstanding record, and despite being at the top of the handicap, he looks well placed again.
Given that John does obviously like to campaign this horse quite freely, he just seems to travel well and enjoy his racing, doesn't he?
Well, he's just got a great attitude, and you can put him wherever you need to. He's quite versatile from a tactical point of view, but he just gets into a really good rhythm, and he saves himself for the final effort, which is most important.
He won over 2,000 last time. Hugh's record over this trip is arguably even better. I imagine even with the big weight, he does look well placed over the distance.
Well, yeah, as I said, he's a very consistent horse, and despite being at the top of the weight, he looks well placed, and I'm excited to be riding him again.
Let's give a bit more weight to Butterfield, who he beat last time out, but you're drawn well in 3, so I guess there's a positive.
Well, you'd like to think I'm probably going to get the run of the race, and if it's an evenly run race, he's going to get into that beautiful rhythm. And like I said, he's very easy to ride because he's very uncomplicated, and what he does lack in size, he's got a heart the size of himself, and I think if he's close enough to fight out the finish, he'll get his nose in front.
And loves racing over 1800 metres, also does Running Glory. We move on, Tom, to the Irishman. This is at Happy Valley last time. There he is in those blue and white colours with the yellow cap, just probing up against the rail.
Yeah, I think he's going quite well at the moment here, the Irishman. And last time out, he was that little bit closer to them, and the run settled just behind the pace there in the trail, and travelled well and had a good kick. If he was at his absolute best, Paul, I think he'd probably win this, but he needs to step up again.
Yeah, he does. Look, I've included him, though, because he is going well, and he is in good form at the moment, and the smallest field I think will probably suit him.
Champion Dragon was an Olympian, Paul. He'd have a cupboard full of silver medals.
He would, wouldn't he? He just finds one to beat him. Now, yeah, they took a sit here with Woodfire Bro actually winning the race, and he still ran pretty well, but he does sort of run better when he sort of sets a good pace out in front. So I think they'll change the tactics back for him, and I think he can win this.
Yeah, I hope they do lead on him, because he's definitely a better horse leading with. They've got to chase him down because he doesn't really have much of a turn of foot to try and run other horses down. You can see he's basically been within that sort of margin the whole way down the straight there of Woodfire Bro. So look, he definitely goes, and I think he's the one to beat.
So he finally breaks through this week.
Yeah, I think he will. I've been with him most weeks, so I'll stick with him here. Champion Dragon, he's on top. Look, Butterfield, I think, will get the perfect run in the trail. Just got a little bit lost last time, but then finished off really strongly. The Irishman and Running Glory, it's hard to leave him out because he's so consistent. 10-5-3-1.
Yeah, I think he's the one to beat here. Hopefully they revert to the old tactics with him. Please lead this week with the Champion Dragon and don't hand up. Spirited Express goes in. I think he's racing well. He's 7 days on the backup behind Beauty Eternal last week. Running Glory and the Irishman. 10, 7, 1 and 3.
So there you go. You've been told. Matthew Chadwick, lead with Champion Dragon. Both the boys want to see the horse in front in the first leg of the Treble.